I can't stand the concept of a 9 to 5. And I don't know how so many people are fine with the concept of this and the concept of working this, but I just can't wrap my head around. I don't know how. I currently work at the gas station for a couple of hours a week. It's not a big job, it's more a small job. As I said, nowhere near the hours of a 9 to 5. Yet even here I can't get how so many people can work 8 hours, and it doesn't mean at the gas station, but in general. These shifts just feel like, I don't know, I'm throwing away so much time, and it's not great. And I'm pretty happy with my workspace there. The boss is super cool, and the colleagues are also pretty fine. Everything is fine, the work that I have to do is okay, and I don't have that many shifts a month, so it's pretty doable. But still, at this manageable amount of this, it's just something that I just don't like and I can't understand. I mean, I'm happy that I can work, that I'm in a first world country where I can work, earn some money, that I'm not poor and on the streets and have to, I don't know, search for my food. So I'm happy for my situation. And I'm also happy for every one of you who is fine with a 9 to 5. It's not an attack to anyone who likes working the 9 to 5 job. It's just, I feel like it's not for me. And I just want to talk about this. Now, of course, it's pretty normal for people to work a 9 to 5. I think majority of the people work a 9 to 5 or a similar concept of a job. And that this might be my future kind of frightens me, because you give a third or even more of your time to someone else. And I feel like this is not the way that I want to live. You get 24 hours a day, and a typical 9 to 5 job is of course around 8 hours, which is a lot of time. And I don't want to throw it away to someone else. And especially because you usually spend more time getting to work and maybe having a break at work. So it's even more than 8 hours of your full 24 hours, maybe more like 10, which is a big amount. And if you want to have a good amount of sleep to stay relatively fit and healthy, which should be at least 6 hours, but better 7 to 8. Some people even recommend more, but I guess it's pretty up to person. But about 8 hours. So 8 hours for sleep, then 8 to 10 hours for your work, and yeah, there is not much left. I mean, with 18 hours a day that go to sleep and work and getting to work and stuff like that, there's only 6 hours left, and usually you're pretty tired after work. Because especially I realized that when I started working there, that even with my small shifts, and I usually start working at 6, I wake up at 5 a.m. and my shifts start at 6, and around 2 p.m. I'm done with my shift. It's not that hard what I do. It's like I'm just a cashier at a gas station and just have to restock some shelves and stuff like that, and have to, of course, take the cash when people pay for stuff. But even these shifts make me feel tired afterwards, and I don't really want to do much after this. Maybe some sports, but otherwise, yeah, I'm pretty lazy after these shifts, and I'm laying around and not wanting to do anything, even though I have some big goals that I need to work on, and I have some ambitions. And in general, you're just very tired after work, no matter what you work. Even in a corporate building job, in an office job, it's pretty normal, in my opinion, to feel tired after this, because it's still a lot that you're doing, and it's for a lot of hours that you have to focus. And this can make you tired, and will. And even if you're very ambitious, it feels like you're not doing anything after work, or like you just can't get yourself to work after work on some bigger projects, on some passion projects. Even on some free time stuff, a lot of people that I usually play basketball with, they often say no because they're tired of work and stuff like that. And I feel like this is not the way that I want to live in the future. Because you give a majority of your time away on a day-to-day basis, at least for 5 days a week. And after that, you're very lazy and tired, and not even lazy, but you're just too tired to do something or to work on things. And even if you're ambitious and you have a lot of goals that you want to fulfill and want to work on, it just feels like you can't during the week. And even a lot of passion projects, as I already said, they often die out or just slow down, and you just can't do a lot of things there, and you can't be really productive with this stuff. And even some things that you just do to enjoy, you feel too tired to do, so you just sit on the couch and watch some Netflix and go to sleep. And I feel like I don't want to do this, and usually people do this for 40, 50 years, 5 days most of the weeks, with only 30 days off if you're lucky, which is not even the case for everyone. And I feel like, for what? Why should I do this? There's not a single benefit that I can see other than making some money, which everybody's doing, on why I would or should do that. Especially because most working people that I talk to, at least it seems like they hate the Mondays. And it's such a normal thing to hear, oh, tomorrow's Monday again. Because everybody is tired of working and working their jobs and the work week starting. And I don't want to spend my life hating a day or hating the start of a new week, because I feel like I should be happy that I am able to live another week, that I'm able to see another Monday, that I'm able to wake up on another Monday, not be like, nah man, why it's Monday again? I want it to be Friday again. I don't want to have the feeling that I wish the majority of my life would already be over, just so I can enjoy 1 or 2 days of a 7-day week. It feels pretty, I don't know, it feels pretty dystopian to me, this thought process, which is pretty normal in today's society, which is kind of crazy. And also, when you're working in a big corporate job, or just in general, you're not a self-employed person, or you just don't have your own business, you pretty much work for someone else and trade your time away, which, yeah, it of course depends on your wage, but let's say you get like $20 an hour, which is like 8 hours a day. It would be like $160. And let's say somebody offered you $160 for 8 hours of your life. So he gives you $160 for 8 hours of your life, and they're gone. They're completely gone. He has them now. You're just $160 richer. I feel like most sane people who don't have like an incredibly big bill to pay would say, fuck you, fuck off. I'm not giving you some time for some small cash. But that is essentially what you're doing in a normal corporate job, or like in a just normal average job, which once again is not bad if you're happy with it, totally fine. But this is just the I don't know, equation that I came up with. Basically giving your time away, because the stuff you do, of course, you need to work on this, but it's not something that nobody besides you can do. You're basically trading your time for a lot of work that someone else doesn't want to do, or it needs to be done by a lot of people, so the corporate, the company can move on, create more money and stuff like that. And I wouldn't do the trade if it wasn't working. If someone just said, yeah, 8 hours for, in my case, minimum wage, no, I wouldn't. Why should I? Why would I accept this deal? It's a pretty bad deal. And now you're working all these hours for a small portion of the pie, for a small piece of the pie, because the majority of this goes to the company and of course the company owner. And you get a pretty small portion of this, even though you're doing a lot of the work. I'm not saying anything about these companies. I'm, of course, not a financial advisor. I have no idea about this. But it just feels pretty, when you are in the worker position, it feels pretty, yeah, you don't feel great working in such a situation. I've heard from people, they also don't feel great about this. And you can feel that some people feel not worthless, but not worth much when they work a normal job. And I think it's pretty sad. And when I think about the shifts that I have to work, which is not a lot in a month, when I'm working these, it feels like I'm throwing my life away. I'm sorry. It literally feels like I'm throwing my life away. I feel dead inside when I work there. I feel like this is not something that I should be doing now. It doesn't feel like anything that would have to do with passion or something that I want to do, or that I'm, I don't know, called to do. It doesn't feel like I'm using my talents in any kind of way. I feel like a bullshitter, just like a machine working some bullshit because they're told to do this. And I just do this for the 8 hours, and I hope every single hour that the hour passes faster, because I want to go home and do different stuff that I am really passionate about. And I do not want this to be my whole life. And I feel like it sucks your passion and creativity and ambition, because as I already said, after these shifts, and I'm home pretty early because I work morning shifts, so I have basically the whole rest of the day, like from like 3 or 4 p.m. to like let's say 10 p.m. or so. I still have the whole day to do things, but I'm still so tired after work that I feel like I get nothing done. I'm not creative anymore. I just want to consume, sit a bit on the couch, maybe sometimes play some basketball, but most of the time I don't do anything after this. And I don't know, it feels like I'm dying working such a job. And even though I don't work a lot of hours a week, some people at this gas station work way more than I do. And I just can't get how they do it. They sometimes work like 5 days in a row. And the max that I worked was 3 days in a row. And these 3 days were freaking horrible. It was insane to me how people can work 5 days a week, 5 shifts a week, there every month, no problem. I can't. It's crazy. I admire them for that in a way, because I couldn't. And it's also because most jobs feel so repetitive after a certain time. Even if it's a better job, then of course working at the gas station is not the tip of the iceberg of great jobs to get. But it's still, I think, like normal in jobs to, after a certain while, have some repetitive phases. I think there are very minimal jobs out there that don't get repetitive at all. Even I don't even know if there is any job that doesn't get repetitive at times. And when you're doing this for hours a day, every single day, it feels so repetitive and it gets boring. And everything people consider normal or realistic seems like a torture or bearable at best when it comes to jobs. And this is not the hope that I'm looking for. Like, even a 4-day work week, which a lot of people dream of, in my opinion, it would still be shit. Like, better, but not good. Like, a little better shit, but not great. It's still shit. Because 4 days of the week are still this bad job that I have to work, or this job that I don't enjoy. And of course, I could say, yeah, search a better job, get a degree, get a better paying job. But I feel like these 8-hour-a-day jobs, these classical, typical 9-to-5 jobs, I don't know any job that I would want to work there. Because a lot of people also have plans for the future and they really want to work a certain job and they already have plans pretty early in their life. But I couldn't tell you. When people ask me, what do you want to do? I don't know. I don't know. I couldn't name you a single job where I would be, yeah, this would be great. No, there is nothing that I can now think of that I would really enjoy more than just, hey, it's okay. And I don't think that when it comes to choosing a job or a career which you are going to do for a long time in your life to get some money and be able to pay for your bills, the process of this shouldn't be, I just choose the one, I pick the one which is the least annoying, but still annoying, or is the least bad, but still bad. This doesn't feel like anything that should be the case, and it should be that normal, but everyone seems to be fine with that, and I don't get it. It drives me crazy that everyone seems fine with that, because when you talk to people, they're like, when you bring these topics up, they're like, yeah, but that's how it is. Just work. That's how everybody does it. I do it. They do it. It's normal. So we can't change it, or we can't talk about this just because it's normal. Like, everybody seems to get more unhealthy and more unhappy, so it's normal. It's okay. So I should do it too. Like, this is not an argument. It's just a stupid excuse that you use to justify a bad situation, in my opinion. And I don't get how people can be fine with that. Once again, if you're happy in your job, in a 9-to-5 job, I'm not saying anything at all. Work your job, be happy, I'm happy for you. But I feel like a majority of the people aren't, and that's what drives me crazy, because everybody seems to be fine with this on the outside. But if you can feel that they aren't on the inside, they just don't really admit it. And I don't know, when I walk past these big corporate buildings with a lot of these offices, like these typical office buildings with a lot of offices and people working in there, it feels dystopian to me. It makes me feel insane, because I feel like, how can so many people, like 300-400 people, be fine with walking in there every single day for 8 hours, 5 days a week, and be fine with working such a job? And of course, it's judging from the outside, they could all be super happy with the job, which I don't think, but it could be. But I don't think that. And I think it's pretty normal for people to hate their job, and it's super normalized in today's society, which in my opinion shouldn't be the case at all. So I have decided for me that I need to find a way to live a good life without working a 9-to-5 job. At least that's what I want to try. Because I feel like I'd rather work 12 hours a day on something I love and something I build for myself and for somebody else, than going the normal way. I mean, get rich or die trying, maybe a bit over-exaggerated for my goals, but at the moment I think I can't live a life like that, like the typical 9-to-5 job. It doesn't feel like something that I could maintain or sustain on a level where I'm still feeling like myself, or where I'm still feeling good. So while the normal way may ain't for me, and I have to grind more for it to end up in a better position in the future, I feel like, so be it. So if I have to work more for having a better situation in the future, I feel like I'm fine with that. And if this isn't for you, it's also fine. I'm not saying that everybody should escape the 9-to-5 job or try to escape the rat race, bro. No, it's totally fine if you're happy with that and you say, hey, I want a sustainable job, a safe job. Totally fine. And once again, I feel like a 9-to-5 job sucks my creativity, motivation and ambition out of me, and I can't stand it. I can't stand it at all. I want to create cool stuff and help others and build something that I generally like and that is worth the grind, I feel like. And when I can't do that with a normal job, I don't want to live my life that way. And of course there's people now that saying, but not everybody can be an entrepreneur and build a business, and somebody needs to do the so-called normal work. Yeah, but not me. Why should I be the person? I can try to build something else or do something else. And I'm not saying, oh, buy my course, bro, I build a business. It's just, I don't want to work a normal job, and I want to try to do something else. I don't know for sure what it's gonna be, but I feel like I'm gonna try it as long as I can and give everything to this, because the other option just doesn't seem viable for me. There are so many people out there that won't even try to be better than the day before, that I think the people who want to do better have to try and have to give everything they have for a vision that they have or for a dream they have. Because a lot of people give up on their dreams, and this is pretty sad, because if you have nothing to dream about, no passions anymore, what is defining you? What drives you to get out of bed every day? Think about it. Is it the paycheck, or is it really something that drives you, that gives you passion, that gives you a dream, that makes you build your dream into reality? Because I don't think this is the case for most people. But now I'm very interested in your opinions on this. Please let me know down in the comments if I'm delusional and the 9 to 5 is the way to go, or if you would also prefer to earn your money in another way and not spending a third of your so-called work week working for someone else. Maybe tell me if you work on a different project, if you're trying to build something maybe besides your job or something before working a normal job. Please tell me, or feel free to tell me about this. I'm very interested to see what you are doing. And now I just have to say thanks for watching. Consider subscribing if you're new and don't want to miss the content. And don't forget, you can always be better than yesterday.